Have you ever looked at a painting with a light effect so vibrant it makes you almost want to squint at it? Here are 10 tips that you can immediately put into practice that will give you a better sense of light when you paint backlit scenes.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is prepare a tone that's the color of the light. Feel free to go really saturated. Every color in the scene, even in the shadows, is going to have an influence of that color. I can draw in the shapes with a warm dark color such as burnt umber, and I can always cool it down later as I go. Number 2, you want to start with a light dark block in using the color family of the light source. So I'm setting up a scene for the effect, which is not usually how I go about painting in most circumstances. Since it's all about what's happening with that light effect, I'm considering it a lot more in the beginning as I go, instead of trying to force it into the scene later. It's akin to what you would do a traditional watercolor where we're working light to dark in that way. Number 3. Due to the effect of the light hitting our eyes at a more direct angle, more of the color/detail information is obliterated as we get closer to the light source. Number 4. The color of the light dictates the color scheme that we'll be framing the painting into. I rely on value changes mainly instead of color changes to describe form. Number 5. The color of the reflected light will describe the light planes in the darks, and that's true for really anything you're painting. Number 6. After establishing my scene, I like to start refining my painting near the light source and work my way out from it. This helps establish the range of values I could work with to keep the light effect strong. And it's a lot easier to get that luminosity in the beginning here rather than trying to fit it over my painting later. Number 7. The closer I am to the light source, the warmer everything is, even in the shadows. So as I go from light to dark, they're all going to be in a nearly analogous color range. In order to maintain that light effect, you have to be very consistent with your rules that you set as you go. Number 8. As you move out from the light source and the light hits the edge of those surfaces that the light is being blocked by, the color of the light spills onto that edge and changes the color of the edge to be more influenced by that light. And there's a minuscule gradient that occurs as it transitions from light to dark on that edge. There's a color temperature transition as you move away from the light. Number 9. As you move further out from the light source, the cooler your shadows get. Inversely, the closer you get to the light source, the warmer your dark shapes get. They go through a gradation of color temperature from warmer to cooler. Number 10. Remember, on a scale of temperature, neutral is cooler than warm, so in order to keep the effect of warmth in the areas near the light, just use neutral colors such as gray, neutral tint, even colored neutrals like Van Dyke brown or ochre to shift temperatures as you render form. So in this scene, the atmospheric depth that happens in the beach scene because of all the moisture in the air influences the amount of dissipating light. But you can find examples of this in pretty much any time where you're facing into the sun. It probably won't spread out as far when there's less moisture in the air, but you can find examples of it everywhere as long as you're painting into the light. Even if you don't have a reference photo you could work from that has a lot of backlighting, you could set up a still life in front of a lamp that's facing you and see this principle in action as well.
If you enjoyed this video and got at least a little something out of it, give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm posting here on this channel, make sure you're subscribed if you haven't done so already. One more thing, does this sound like you? You're a gouache artist who's beginning to get a hang of the medium, but you still have plenty to learn. You've taken a few classes online and got a few good tips out of them, but you're still left with wanting a lot more. My next online course starts May 15th. It's a 6-week intensive where I deliver the lessons live, have a private community where you can get personal coaching lessons anytime, and you get real-time feedback over Zoom. We cover all you need to know about working with gouache specifically, and I take you through my entire method of creating professional quality paintings. If you want to learn more about taking your gouache to the next level, leave a comment below with a way to reach you, such as your social media handle, and I'll reach out to you with more info as soon as I can.